I think there was a belief in that locker room that we're just as fast as these guys, we're just as talented, we're just as strong. There's absolutely no reason that if we don't play Duke football Monday night that we can't win this game.
Hey, this is Riley Leonard, and you're listening to the Durham Devils Club podcast.
Welcome to another episode of the Durham Devils Club podcast. I'm your host, Brian Kennedy, and as always, I'm joined with my co-host, Josh Cox and Scott Medlin. Unfortunately, this is the second straight interview Jamie Holt has missed, and this time it's the beach fellas. I mean, we knew it was going to happen sooner or later, but hey, we've got another great episode today. We have senior offensive lineman Graham Barton joining us. Graham, we are recording after the Northwestern game, leading up to the UConn game. How you doing, buddy? It's been 3 games in and 3-0.
Yeah, doing good. It's being 3-0 is right where we wanted to be. It's a good feeling. Just trying to take it 1 week at a time. We're aware of that there are big games to come, but we've got to treat each and every week like it's our last. And so we're focused on UConn, and we're just. Coach Elko said to the team. We're 3-0, but we've got to focus on, where we need to improve, and it's hard to do that, when you won the way we've won the past couple of weeks. But the reality is we have a lot to improve on. We have a lot to work on, and I think the team's kind of doing a good job of keeping that hungry mindset and finding ways to improve.
Well, and with that hungry mindset, really quick, last year, no one gave this Duke team a chance.
Yeah,
I think the over/under was 3.5 games.
Should have gone and taken that.
I should have gone to Vegas really quick because I would have made some money.
Yeah.
But this year, it seems the national media is finally turning the corner with acknowledging this Duke team. Do you feel this team is starting to get a bullseye on their back as you get deeper into the season?
Yeah, I think that's something we've touched on too. We've gone from being the hunter to the hunted, and we've talked a lot about that as a team, and Coach Elko's really harped on it. He's not a huge analogy guy, I've found. Some football coaches just love to, put up a movie clip, and then relate it to the team situation.
Right.
Coach Elko doesn't really do that. But he came in, I can't remember, all the days go together now, but a week or two ago, and he came in and put up a lion in the team meeting room. He's like, the lion, he's the king of the jungle, right? When someone comes at him to try to take his crown, he's there, he responds, he attacks, and I think that's kind of the analogy too. Is we've got these teams who see an opportunity. A top 25 team, their season may not be going the way they want. They've got an opportunity to make their season against us, and it's just a different situation than we were in, a couple years ago, and so even last year, so we've become the hunted in a lot of games, and so we've got to, in my opinion, we've still got to prepare. Like we're the ones hunting, and the Eagles. Someone from the Eagles says this a lot. It says the underdog is a hungry dog, and hungry dogs run faster. And so in my mind, it's like I try to approach it like I'm just always the underdog. Like someone's counting me out, someone's doubting my ability, and just convincing yourself that's the case. I think. Is great for this team, and I think as a team we do that really well, and we've just got to find ways to, like I said, continue being the hunter and continue to find ways to improve and not being happy with where we're at, and just take us as far as we want to go.
Yeah, for sure. Well, Graham, we're going to talk a little bit. We're going to come back and talk a little bit of football for sure. Last season, this season, your career kind of at Duke. But before we really dig into that, we would just want to, let the Durham Devils Club members kind of get to know you a little bit on a personal level. Tennessee boy. Yeah, and so we're going to talk a little bit about growing up life, stuff like that. We have a surprise for you while into this.
Hey, we gave him almost 2 months warning.
Yeah, we did.
You guys spend too much time with my parents.
Well, Pause on that one. But let's see. So just a couple questions, man, about you.
Okay.
Cute little kid growing up, right? I'm sure. Did you play multiple sports? What's your philosophy on that, and how were you raised as far as like multiple sports goes?
Man, I get this question a lot, and I answer it differently when who I'm talking to. So like someone asked me what I want to do when I'm older, and obviously I want to play football as long as I can, that's the dream. But like take that out of it, it's like what do you want to do professionally? And when someone from the Duke academic world asked me, I'm a public policy major,
right.
I'm thinking this and this, but really like the true down to earth answer that I would tell just like a friend or anything is like, I can't imagine a life where I am not involved in sports some way or somehow. Because going back to your question, it's all it's my true love. Since, I could play sports. I've played everything. Baseball, soccer, lacrosse. Obviously football. I used to go and do gymnastics on Saturdays.
Okay. Unfortunately, we do not have pictures.
I played handball.
We don't have pictures of that to throw up. But
Yeah.
Wait. What sport in gymnastics did you do? The ribbing?
I didn't.
twirling?
It wasn't like competitive. But I would go on Saturdays with all my friends, and we would. And one of my football coaches was a Olympian.
Okay.
Wow.
And so like we would have, and I guess. His son, that's what it was. His son would do gymnastics, and it was like, I don't
It's
remember,
probably a test to your footwork and balance, maybe even on to this day on the offensive line.
I was
right?
about to say, like I don't know. When I have a child, like they will, I'll let them do whatever they want, find what they love, but if they choose sports, I'm gonna put them in as many as they want to be in. I think that like just having the general athletic understanding can carry over just into so many different sports. And so like I wanted to play everything under the sun. My mom signed me up for everything under the sun, and I'm just so thankful for that, because I think that just helped me growing up, just understanding how the body works and how to move efficiently, and just year round cross sport training is just so beneficial for just being an athlete.
So you say you like to stay in the sports world.
Swim team too.
Okay,
I swam.
okay.
Wow.
Forgot
All right.
that one.
Renaissance man.
Did you play track? No, you didn't.
No, I did not. Track was
I think you run track.
a little
right?
boring for me.
You run track?
You run track.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's right.
You
Yeah.
don't play track. You
From
run
what we've
track.
heard, you've been doing it with Coach Feely.
Yeah.
We'll get to
I
some
have-
Feelyisms.
Yeah, the track did not escape me for sure.
Right over. Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
so-
right over. I'm looking over.
Yeah. So, but you said you want to stay in the sports realm. Is that something you see like in like general management, that type of thing with sports, or coaching, or what do you, if you fast forwarded 20 years, what is Graham Barton doing?
I haven't even thought about this, but I will say, I do enjoy, being around. Like, I could see myself in a booth. It's something I've kind of always talked about. I'd love to be in a booth. I think really close to football in that way, and just being able to talk about it, and like your job. When you're not announcing, your job's to study the team you're about to announce, and like. Just I feel like that's just an awesome.
And then the
football
pressure's
job,
off is like
I just sit there and watch ball,
Yeah,
and
I
talk
love it.
about it. So like I think that would be a lot of fun. I think the front office of a professional sports team is a really interesting dynamic to me. Not even just football, really. Just sports in general. And I don't know, maybe maybe there's a career out there for me in some sort of media or entertainment. It just
we're hiring at the Section 17 podcast, so we
I'll
pay
apply.
incredible.
20 years down the road, he should have his bust in Canton. He should have a
That's
gold
right.
jacket.
That is
right.
the goal.
That's
There
right.
you go.
Goal, yeah.
There you go.
So you can basically do what you want to at that point.
Yeah.
So do you see yourself, since you're talking about possibly getting in the booth, do you see yourself calling games like Tony Romo does, where you're out there telling you exactly what they're getting ready to run from the formation?
I'm not that bold.
It is pretty bold.
Yeah,
isn't it?
it's bold, and I don't play quarterback. He's got such a good understanding of
Can you golf like he does?
absolutely not, absolutely not. I wish. I actually another sport I played growing up. I'm 7-year-old club champion
Okay.
Nice.
Wow.
of our down the street golf club.
Nice. Nice.
Probably a pool of about 8 kids, but Another trophy for the
There
wall.
you
Still
go.
a trophy.
Add
exactly.
to it.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I've
growing
lost
up,
touch though. Lost touch.
obviously growing up outside of Nashville, were there any country music artists that were like your favorite? Or were you into country music? Because some people aren't that live over there.
Very much into country music. Pretty much all I've ever really listened to, throughout my life. Man, I've had a lot of favorite artists over the time, and it switches. But growing up, it was probably like your Brad Paisleys, like your Luke Bryans, your just those 2010s, like the Keith Urbans.
Did you ever get to see anybody in Nashville that you look back now, you're like, oh, that was pretty sweet?
So I used to go to CMA Fest. It's like the country music festival in Titan Stadium. And it's downtown Nashville all weekend. And I remember seeing Luke Combs, like his album. I think I forget the name of it. It's the one with like Beautiful Crazy on it.
Yeah.
Like the big album. Like I remember
First one. Yeah.
seeing that. He was at CMA Fest performing, and like he was already big at the time, but he wasn't like
What he is now,
it was like this album had just come out, right? And so like seeing that live, I was like I had listened to him, but I wasn't like hearing it live. I was like, whoa, this guy is really good, And so that was a really cool experience. I met Dan and Shay. Sitting. I was younger. I was not at the bar. They were sitting at the bar. Me and my friends, summer break or something. We were eating in the restaurant, and we were like, it was right after like Tequila and all that had just come out, and it's Dan and Shay.
That's cool. That's really cool.
My mom's met Keith Urban in a Starbucks. I've had a couple run-ins. It's pretty cool.
So have you ever, obviously I think you have been there. Who was the greatest person you think you saw maybe in the Ryman Theater?
I have never been.
You've never
in
been to the Ryman?
Oh.
So that was actually going
Parents
to be my
have.
original question.
We had always gotten a babysitter, and my parents went.
So they left you at home so they could go have fun.
Yeah,
I've never
that's
been
no
to the
fun.
Ryman, man. I know it's unfortunate. Like I need to go, and I'll go, but it's just I don't know. Whenever they would go, they'd leave us at home with a babysitter, and then I guess by the time I got older, I don't know. I never went, but like now that's something I would absolutely love because it's an artist with a guitar and a microphone, and like I love that kind of music, and it just pulled back like that.
I think anytime you grow up somewhere, you kind of like you don't understand.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? How
take it
cool
for
some of
granted,
how cool some of
yeah.
the stuff is that you get away.
Yeah, it's
But,
unfortunate. I need to go.
So we know you're a steak guy. And just to let you know, we do our predictions every year, and whoever wins, we go to a steakhouse, and
Okay.
the losers buy the winner
Okay.
a steak dinner.
Okay.
So where's the best place in town that you've had a steak, and a best place at home if we were to travel out there
Okay.
for a steak?
All right. I don't want to butcher the name. Give me two.
Are you while you're looking? Are you a ribeye guy?
I'm a New York strip guy.
Okay.
I think it's the ribeye's great. Like I'll eat a ribeye, no problem. But sometimes you get a ribeye with a little too much fat, and
Yeah.
I'm not the biggest fat guy, so like I enjoy the strip because it's a little bit of like
And
a
you got
leaner
that cap,
cut.
and you got the cap on the side.
Yeah.
If you want some fat. Yeah.
I believe this is the right one. Metro 8 Steakhouse.
Yeah, bro. Yes.
Wow.
On Broad Street. Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's really good. Like
Really good.
Isn't it like Argentinian style? They have like a skirt steak with like a chimichurri sauce on it. Is legit over there too. So I've been
You
there.
know what? What's
I've
the
been
one
there.
by Tobacco Road?
Which one is that?
No, it's not Nana. Nana's
Nana's
over
Nana's.
by Q-Shack. I don't know.
See, these are the hard-hitting
It is.
questions.
It is Nana.
Oh, it is now.
Sorry,
Nana's good.
sorry, Metro 8, but Nana Steak.
Nana
Okay.
steak's good.
Yeah,
Metro 8's
that's
good too,
good.
by the way.
Metro 8 is very good.
Yeah,
if
yeah.
anyone from Metro 8's listening. I've had both, but Nana Steak, I will say, I've been there more recently.
Yeah.
I actually went with Riley, and just the steak and the French fries and how good their French fries were, it just makes the steak better. And
Yeah. Medium rare, right?
medium rare.
There you
Medium
go.
rare.
All right. What about Nashville? Is there a good spot in Nashville if we ever get out that way? I think Duke is going there
Middle
in
Tennessee, 2025.
2025. I think we're going to make the road trip. We already got plans.
There you
man.
go.
You know.
absolutely should.
Yeah.
And maybe if you're playing in Nissan Stadium, we
Yeah,
can
we'll stay over for the weekend.
double
Double dip.
you. Yeah.
We'll see. Beggars can't be choosers.
Yep.
We'll see.
But yeah, is there a good steak place at home?
There's a ton. There are so many great places. I'll bring up this. So there's a Brazilian steakhouse named Rodizio's. It might be a chain. I think it's a chain. There's probably several. But one of my buddies, it was his birthday. He's actually tight end at Clemson now. So it's his birthday, junior year of high school. We go downtown. We go to Rodizio's Steakhouse, and it's like pretty much all of us were college football players. So we're big guys walking into a restaurant, right? And my buddy, who is now at Tennessee, offensive tackle as well. He, I guess he's a tight end now, actually. But anyways, 6'8", taller than me, big guy. And it's like the Brazilian steakhouse, so you've got the green dot
green
and the red dot.
Yeah.
And me and him just went toe-to-toe all night. I mean, heavyweight fight. Like just green, no red dot.
Yeah.
And we both had so much pride that we had to handshake and be like, it's over. Someone's gonna get hurt.
So as a veteran of the Brazilian steakhouse, then do you have a philosophy on the same cut of meat like multiple times, or are you cool with like, let me try everything? Because I know there's differing opinions there. And I'm actually showing how much I eat by knowing this.
Okay.
So anyway,
Yeah. So I'm very open when it comes to food. Like I'll try just about anything, unless it's moving, living.
Yeah.
I'm a little more skeptical, but I'll try just about anything. I'm open to most things, and I like most things. So, like bring it on. Any cut. It doesn't have to be the same for me. Yeah, I'll try it. Might hate it, but I food for me is I'd say it's a hobby. I enjoy eating.
Yeah. Are you I think your dad is like a smoker, right? Does he smoke?
Yeah.
Some and grill, because I do some of that, and your dad will interact with me some online.
Oh, yeah, he
but
loves it. Yeah.
Yeah, he loves grilling.
He's
and
got
all that stuff.
his Primo smoker downstairs, and he loves like putting something on there for 12 hours.
Yeah. Brian and I both do the same.
I've done overnight smoking. That's usually the best way to do it. You put it on, you go to bed, you wake up, it's ready to go.
Yeah, he loves it. Sometimes though it's funny, like he's really good now, but when he first got it, like he would maybe take it. He'd be a little too passionate about it, or so it might be overcooked or something.
Yeah.
My mom would get so mad. She's like, fill up like.
We wasted all
it's
this
rubber.
money.
Yeah. But no, he's really good at it. But I just remember a couple times he'd like a little overcooked or something. It was funny.
Now I will attest, as smokers, we want to make sure that our guest or our family enjoys what we put our hard energy into. 12, 14 hours. If it comes out and it's like you said, rubber.
Yeah.
Then it's like, okay, I'm just gonna hang up the smock. I'm done. I can't do this anymore.
Yeah,
But
that's why she'd get mad at him, and I felt so bad, because he spent 12 hours making it. So I'm like, it's great, Dad.
As you break a tooth.
Yeah, I'm gonna run out to Chick-fil-A real quick. I'll be right back.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to bed.
No, I love it. So I know you guys have done a lot of fishing this summer. That's been a main thing, and I don't know if that's Riley Leonard pushing it. Oh, wait a minute, we have somebody's calling my phone.
Wait for it.
Real quick. I'm not.
Oh my God.
Who is it?
Hello? Oh, hold on.
I got to put it on speaker.
Yeah, say it again.
Hello there.
Hey, Heather, we are here with your son.
No way.
I'm not sure if you've talked to him recently. His name is Graham. He goes to Duke University.
Oh, I've forgotten about him. I just only see him for a few minutes on the weekend.
That's good. You got anything since he doesn't talk to you much? Do you have anything you want to talk to him about? We're recording a podcast, so.
I was wondering if he finally gotten his oil changed and his tires rotated.
Oh.
No, Mom, I haven't. I'm sorry.
Oh, Mom.
We're going to have to stay on him.
The bye week is coming.
We also found out that you guys would go to concerts in Nashville and not take Graham along.
That is true. They'd go to the Ryman and
you go to the Ryman, you and your husband, and not take Graham.
Well, anyway, sorry, bud. Date night.
It's all right. I
Date
forgive you.
night.
Yeah.
Well, listen, we really appreciate you coming on and being a part of the show, and we can't wait to talk and get more details about Graham Notre Dame weekend.
Well, I love to share. It's actually been quite a perfect day. I get to talk to Graham, and I just finished listening to the the most recent Section 17
Oh.
podcast.
Hey, what a plug!
Look at that.
What a
plug.
We did not even ask her
Good
to do
job,
that.
Mom.
That was
Good
great.
job.
That was great. Well, listen, Heather, we hope you have a great day. And Graham said he'll call you every day from now until he graduates.
That'd be awesome. Or you know what? We can just make it twice a week. I'd be happy with that.
Come on.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, Heather.
Bye, Mom.
All right. Bye.
Okay, so really quick.
There we go.
When we first interacted with your parents,
Yeah.
we would tell them stuff thinking that they would know it, and your mom would be like, "Well, I didn't know about this.
Yeah,
Graham
Graham
hasn't
told
told me anything."
Yeah. Yeah. She makes it sound like I don't talk to my mom. That's not true. I may just not overshare, you know?
Right.
You know, hey, Mom, how's your week? Good, you know? Yeah, I don't get to every event, you know? I'm not the, you know, sometimes I'm tired, you know?
It's been a running gag with her whenever we see him. It's like, hey, when was the last time you talked to Graham? Hey, did you know this about Graham? I had no idea.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Well, back to the question
All right.
before your mom interrupted,
Okay.
which is completely cool. So you guys have been fishing a lot in the off season, right? And I mean, Riley may be spearheading a little bit of that, right? But
Riley is spearheading that.
okay, so tell us about maybe like what's the best fishing story from over the summer, you know?
Okay.
And maybe feel free to clown on teammates who don't know what they're doing, things like that.
Oh,
Like, completely
I'm not
cool
going
with
to
that.
sit here and act like I'm the best fisherman in the world. Right?
Do you at least bait your own hook?
I can, but it'd take me a while.
So Riley helps you.
Yes.
Okay.
Or, here's where I'm going. So my best fishing story actually has nothing to do with Mr. Leonard.
right.
So this summer, me and my dad, I think Memorial Day weekend, we actually went. So we have a cabin in Boone, North Carolina, near App State. We've been going up there since I was basically born.
Shout out Daniel Boonin. You ever eaten there?
Yes, I have.
Yes,
Great,
great
food.
place.
Oh,
Great,
phenomenal. And so me and my dad went on a float trip, the Watauga River.
Yeah.
Did that, and it rained all day, and it was miserable. I mean, it was very fun. Don't get me wrong, the fishing and stuff. But
Right.
by the end of it, you know, you're shivering, like your fingers and your toes, and you're shivering. But I mean, we had a blast. I go fishing, but it's not like something I do alone. You know,
It's like a social
yeah,
event.
for me, it's like,
Yeah.
you know, John Gillard, who had played here, I'd go with him, or Nicky Dalmolin, or Riley, or, you know, my dad grew up loving to fish, and so I go with them, and you know, and I love it. But you know, for me, it's more about just the camaraderie, and just being able to like hanging out with my dad all day, and you know, something we don't get to do a whole lot, and so doing that was really fun, special for me. But I'm sitting there in the pouring rain, and I'm freezing cold, and like I'm just thinking about, like, I'm literally having to think about like football adversity stuff to be able to like get through this boat trip without, like, you know, complaining and like just shutting down.
And we will not ask you to disclose the secret fishing hole around campus.
Okay.
here.
Yes,
We
there
will
is
not-
one.
There is one.
There is one.
And we've heard it said at a meeting that we were at with you, but we will not disclose that.
private
Let's
information.
just say
Sorry,
if you get to Duke and you ever get around the campus
Uh-huh.
with Graham or Riley, they've got a spot for you.
There is a great spot.
So
And you
that's
can-
all we'll say. Listen, this is guys. You asked for behind the scenes access to the Duke football program. Does it get more behind the scenes than this?
It doesn't.
And
It
you
doesn't.
can't go there until after 6, 7 o'clock.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah. There is. It's certain hours of the day.
Right,
You know,
right.
it's exclusive access.
That's right.
Now, in
There is
all
a
honesty,
a gate and a code word.
There you go.
if you were here back in August when we had the meeting, they may have disclosed where that was then.
Yep.
Maybe, maybe not. So if you weren't paying attention,
Yep.
sorry.
Sorry.
So
Yeah.
Graham, let me ask you this, buddy.
This is more serious.
Yeah,
Sorry.
this is more serious. I'm sorry.
Okay. Go
if
ahead.
you had
Hit
to have a guest list for your dream dinner party, who would it be?
We
Say
talk-
4 people.
All right. We talked about this during camp a lot, and here's the reality of it. Let me start with an opening statement. I'm going to say 4 people that I would love, you know, to have a dinner party with. But as soon as I get off this interview, I'm going to think of 4 people I'd also love to have.
Yeah, and we're going to also say dead or alive too. So that's going to make it.
It
even
happens
worse.
all
Okay.
the time.
So we're going dead or alive?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
4 people at my dinner party.
Catered by Nanos.
The first
Nana
one.
steak.
The first. The first one is definitely the toughest one. Dead or alive makes it really hard too. Let's see.
Medium rare.
French
fries.
Gotta have those
Caesar salad come out
on the
first.
catering table.
That's right.
And since I didn't have lunch, you talking about that a few minutes ago has made me more hungry than I already am.
All right, here's the first one that comes to mind, and unfortunately, a lot of you aren't going to know who it is. His name is Ryan Holiday. He's an author.
Okay.
He's written a lot of books. He wrote one called I found him through Coach Cushing, our offensive line coach. He's written a lot of books. I've one called Discipline is Destiny. Discipline is Destiny. He's I'm getting ready to read another one called Ego is the Enemy, and just reading that book, and I follow him on social media and stuff, and just I would love to just be able to sit down and ask more. He's got these awesome insights into just life and kind of just he does a series on being a father and just kind of his experiences. So I think that would be one person for sure. Two, I would probably have to say, let's see.
It's tough. It's tough when you start thinking about it.
Man, it's tough. Man, who was I going to say? All right, here's another one. Matthew McConaughey.
All right.
One, I feel like you just need that voice at your dinner.
He could narrate what's going on.
And he's such a phenomenal storyteller.
Yep.
That I would love to I could sit there and listen to him tell, even if it was fake, it was completely made up. Like it would be a great story, just the way he delivers it. So I go Matthew McConaughey.
How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, low key, really great movie.
Yeah.
Great movie.
Really good.
movie.
Yeah.
So
Put my hand up. I love early 2000s romantic
Rom-coms.
comedy.
There you
Man,
go.
those
There
are
you
good.
go.
And that's one of them.
Yeah. Okay. All right, so we got two.
Yeah.
We have an intellectual one. We've got a
Yeah.
laid back one.
Yeah. And he's pretty intellectual as well.
He is.
He's got a book called Green Lights, and he's been journaling since he was 15 years old, and so the book is just kind of like an autobiography. Yet it's like all these journal entries from when he was 18, 25, 32, 38. Like he took trips to South America for like 2 months and took nothing but his journal,
So
and
it's
just like
inside the mind of Matthew McConaughey.
So it's like his take on life to me is pretty interesting. So there's number two, and now I feel like I'm running out of spaces because I'm let's go three. Let's go. I'm trying to. Here's where I'm at. I'm thinking, historic coach, a famous coach, but I'm trying to pick which one I want.
It's
So
tough.
it's down between like a Bear Bryant type,
similar, yeah.
Bobby Bowden.
Lombardi,
Wallace Wade.
Yeah.
Wallace Wade.
Had to throw that in there.
Let's see, man.
There's Landry's a good one.
Yeah.
Tell you what, you've given us two. We'll give you some more time to think of the other two.
All
Sound
right.
good? Let's just do that before we end the episode.
Or comedian. You got to throw a comedian in there too.
Yeah, I've got it. Yeah.
Just
So
keep it in
just some thoughts.
just in the back of your mind. So
we'll come back to that at the
All
end.
right,
So at
all
the
right.
end, we have some quick hitters.
All right.
And we'll ask you to finish your.
I'll have
off
my two
on your
ready.
quick
I'll have my
hitters.
two ready.
all right.
All right, so we're kind of moving from like the personal stuff, and I mean, obviously, football is personal to you, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna move to some more Duke stuff, right?
Okay.
So, Brian, kick us off into the kind of the Duke realm.
Okay, so the Clemson game. Let's just get this out of the way. The game's over. They're interviewing Riley. He's begging the professor to extend his homework. Professor comes on and says, sorry, can't do it. First question, are you a part of that class? But two, did you get your homework turned in on time before the Clemson game?
The answer to both of those questions is yes.
Were you the one that
Nice.
ratted him out?
No.
Wesley Williams,
Wesley
didn't
Williams
Didn't
the
they say
one-
Wes Williams had his turned in early?
Correct. Yeah. I didn't get mentioned in that.
I know
was
you
like,
should have.
I'm just as much in the class as Wesley.
Offensive lineman, man.
No, but you can actually ask my mother next time you see her. They came over to my house before I had to go to the facility for the game, and on Friday morning, and I was doing that homework actually.
See, you gotta help lead Riley, man. This young pup.
I know.
I mean,
Young pup.
you've got to
We're working on him. He's
protect
a
them
work
in
in
more than one
progress.
way.
Yeah,
Right.
You know?
Right. No, I love it. So we're speaking Clemson game,
Yep.
right?
Okay.
So let's go back to that. You know,
right.
Labor Day, As we have talked about extensively on our podcast, and then with even our guests, there's not a bigger opening game in Duke football history, probably.
I'd agree.
And I mean, Duke played Alabama a few years ago, but that was one of those where the crazy underdog line and all those things.
And they didn't win.
Correct. Yeah. So this is huge. Duke coming off a 9-4 season. People are kind of like, oh, that's cute. Like, is Duke really good? Walk us through your mindset as it became clear that Duke was not just going to beat Clemson on Labor Day, but in that fourth quarter, you started realizing, no, we're going to win by 2 scores. No, now we're going to win by 3 scores. Can you kind of walk us through your mindset? And, like, did you ever take some time to really, like, process that in the moment, or did you just have to wait till after it was all over?
I mean, that was definitely one of the cooler things I've ever been a part of, right? Being honest, just not a whole lot of football players ever get to experience just the field storm, and just being a part of a moment like that is just, you grow up watching that, and it's like, it's really special, Monday night, it's so great for this place, and just seeing, from having 5 people in the stands, and you 5.
we were 4 of them.
Yeah, we were 4 of them, and to having just what it looks like a sellout crowd is just it makes you a little emotional out there, and it was really cool. I'll say this: I think all week, or really all kind of camp, there was just this quiet confidence that we had as a team. I feel like we weren't going around saying, we're going to beat Clemson. We're going to do this. They're like, we're better. It was just a quiet, like, I think there was a belief in that locker room that we're just as fast as these guys. We're just as talented. We're just as strong. There's absolutely no reason that if we don't play Duke football Monday night that we can't win this game. And just, and that belief just grew stronger and stronger. And then, you saw it come to fruition. And I think that was really it. That was the mindset. It was just like, we belong here. We put in the time and the effort, and it showed. And I think that was just, something I was so proud of. And just like I said, being able to be a part of that, man, is one of the cooler things I'll ever get to experience.
Did it crack you up when you saw the students already on the field?
Yeah.
Like 3 minutes to go. Students are already
I
trying to keep them off.
I was pretty I didn't like that. At the start, I was like, guys, 3 minutes. Like, let's win the game. Let's not fumble here and have them take it back.
Right.
Like, let's win the game.
Well,
looking
earlier
back now,
in that
it's
game,
like, okay.
the students were chanting overrated in the first quarter.
First
It was
quarter.
7-6, and they're chanting overrated. I'm like, guys, y'all
Let's
need to
act like
chill.
we've been here before.
Yes.
Let's relax. Yeah.
For sure.
That was actually right before we muffed the punt.
It was
Okay,
right before the
sweet.
motherfucker. We're like, oh yeah, see, we earned it.
Yeah,
we
we
did it
did.
ourselves.
They
Man.
did shut up after that.
Yeah.
I mean, they did not say it another time. It was kind of like karma.
That'll
coming
do
to
it.
bite you.
Yeah, that'll do it. But no, I mean, that was it was a cool moment to be a part of. Definitely going to be sharing that one with a couple generations.
I would
from
say
now.
just for
Bartons.
the fan standpoint, that was probably one of our biggest moments.
Yeah.
Obviously. So full disclosure about where I'm going here with this one.
Okay.
I know that many people may know that you interned this summer, and you and I know a gentleman that
We
goes
do.
to church with, John,
We do.
and he was telling me some stories over the summer
no.
about just the reactions that you got when you walked in the door, when they look at a guy your size and they were asking you questions like, "What do you do?
Yeah.
Where are you from?" And I almost remember, I think somebody had asked you, do you play football? Really? Does Duke have a team?
Yeah. It was I had a great time interning there. They were awesome.
And for just in case nobody knows, what did you do?
So I was an intern in Senator Tom Tillis's office this summer, the one in Raleigh. It was, commute was tough. It's a half hour there and an hour back in traffic. But I enjoyed going every day. I had a lot of fun. But yeah, walking in, I definitely didn't fit in. I was a lot taller and a lot heavier than most of the people there. But it was funny, So they, it was in a federal government building, so there was court service officers or court security guards, CSOs. So that there was security guards walking around, and I roll in on the first day, and obviously they're all like football fans, and so like every day that was I spent a few minutes every day talking to those guys, talking about the upcoming season. So we gained some Duke football fans in Raleigh for sure, but yeah, the questions were similar to oh yeah, I love Duke basketball, yeah, I've been watching Duke basketball since I was 10. Yeah, I don't really watch football.
We actually didn't. Did you have a basketball program here? We didn't.
I wasn't aware.
What is the sport you're speaking?
Yeah, we only speak of the pigs. We only speak of the pigskin.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but no. To be honest, when people say that, like, obviously it's unfortunate, but I'm like, I understand. It's like the reality is we were really bad for a really long time. It's no one's like trying to hide that fact, and so it makes sense. But winning solves a lot of problems, and so hopefully we continue to build and build and build, and we'll be right there with the elite basketball program we have.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, at the end of the day, you can go back years down the road and say you were part of it.
Yeah.
You were part of the reason that Duke football became what they were.
Yeah.
The juggernaut 5 years from now that they are.
Yeah. So I actually, here's a quick story for you. So we were designing the bull ring, and one of my ideas was, so it got laughed at first, but I'll get back to it. Anyway, so I wanted to put team number 1 in the on the inside of the ring, so you can't see it, but when you take the ring off and look, just because like I said, being like looking back, like you look at Coach Cutt's old teams, those 2013 teams, like every guy who comes and plays at Duke or has watched Duke football remembers that 2013 Coastal champion team who went to the Chick-fil-A Bowl. And it's like those guys are remembered, forever in Duke history for just being a part of a program turnaround like that. And I think what we're doing now might even have bigger just impact on Duke's history and Duke's program history, and will be talked about in years to come, and in 20, 30 years. And so I thought just having that bull ring that says, hey, here, like this was the first team, Coach Elko's first team of who we all know will become a very successful head football coach 20, 30 years from now, or I mean obviously he is now, but you know what I mean and what I'm getting at. And so
his legacy.
So just being able to be a part of his first team and being a part of the team that went from 3-9 to 9-4 was really special, and I wanted to capture that by putting that on the inside of the bull ring. So I bring up the idea, and everyone's like, no. I don't think a lot of people understood what I was saying by team 1.
It makes a lot of sense, though.
Yeah,
because
it's
been a roller coaster for this football program.
Yeah.
To start with Cutcliffe, it started low, took 4 years. To your point, they got to 2013 on the uprise, got to 2018, and then obviously your first couple of years it kind of went back down.
Yeah.
But now this program's back on the upswing.
Yeah.
It completely makes sense.
Yeah,
for sure.
And so, but so we get the rings this spring, and sure enough, it was on there. So
awesome.
Coach Elko liked my idea.
That's cool. That's cool.
So I've got a question that I thought of this morning when we were getting ready to come over here. You know how new players in the NFL, freshmen in college, they have a welcome to college football moment, welcome to the NFL moment. By usually it's a veteran, a senior, a junior. Yeah. What was your welcome to college football moment when you came to Duke?
Yeah, I actually got asked this a couple of weeks ago. So I don't remember the specifics of it, but I just remember I came in, I was playing right tackle, just threw me in there. I think I was the third guy. And when I came in, it was a little different, because of COVID and everything. So we got here July 12th, and, so I was here for a couple weeks, and then camp started and didn't really have a whole lot of adjustment time. So I was just, out there just, playing football and just trying to learn on the fly and kind of learn from the older guys. And one of our tackles rolls his ankle up or something, and, no one's in there. So I'm like, screw it. I just run in there. And we're doing like a pass protection drill, and so I'm just going one-on-one with Victor Diumkeji for like reps and reps in a row, who's now on the Cardinals in the NFL. And these were like my first, reps against just like a starter caliber player like Victor. And you know, I from that moment on, I understood the speed of the game and how much it changed from high school to college, and just the strength of players, and you know what it is going to take to become a good player. And I was like, wow, you know, I got some work to do.
Have you given someone a welcome to college football moment?
I hope so.
Okay.
I don't know.
No one's admitted it, or no one's gotten off the field after you've stopped them from getting Riley? There's so many you can't just pick
That's right.
one.
That's right.
I don't know. I hope so.
Okay.
I'm sure if I asked around, I could find one.
Couple
but-
pancakes or something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
Has anybody?
Oh, actually, I do have one.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm
you got?
sorry. Don't mean to cut you
No,
off.
you're good.
Aaron Hall, when he
Yep,
first got
okay.
here, we were running like spring years ago. We were running the just like outside zone, and I just got all the way around him, and just had him reach to where like my butt was facing the sideline, and the running back just. And Aaron said that that was like one of his first snaps, and he
That's
was just
cool.
like, I just blinked and you were around me and had me reached, and he was like knew that he had to pick up the pace a little bit. So that I guess that's a welcome to college.
I was
football
going to say,
moment for him.
has anybody in the last 2 seasons, obviously we've talked about how Duke was not Duke now.
Yeah.
When Coach Elko got here, has anyone looked at you across the line of scrimmage at the end of the game and said, "Wow, you guys are a whole lot better than we thought you were"?
Yeah, I have some buddies who play around the ACC or in other colleges that we played, and they're like, you guys are just a completely different team, like faster, stronger, more athletic, like it's just a different look. And I got that several times. That was the biggest. I think that was the jump off the page difference from last year to a couple of years ago. It was just more sustained effort, play hard, play fast, play stronger. I think that was the biggest difference that you could really see right away on tape.
So let's go back to last year.
Okay.
9-4. But once again, look, we're as close as we can be to the program without being a part of the program. And even we were like, there still hasn't been, there's some question marks still, right? We lost some close games and some games we should have won. You look back at the Georgia Tech game. You look back at that dreadful Chapel Hill College penalty game, whatever we want to call that. But it was probably a couple games into the season that Pro Football Focus started putting out these graphics, right? And I'll be honest with you, we follow this team as closely as possible.
Yeah.
But there were a couple of times early on where I'm like, wow, really? That's pretty cool. So when did that start? I know you don't spend a ton of time on social media yourself, but like when did that start to get your attention? How much do you pay attention to that? And I don't mean that in any sort of a selfish way, but that's obviously you want to be successful at what you're doing. So tell us about kind of the evolution of the Graham Barton PFF poster boy.
Yeah. So Dwayne, he always calls me Mr. PFF. It's pretty funny. I don't know, to be honest with you. I just I noticed it too. I was like, I'm great now. Well, I guess these guys like me. It was really all I thought of it. But a lot of people have different opinions on PFF, and but to be honest with you, it got my name out there. I don't know how the grading system works, but I'd assume you have to play decently well to, get graded high.
Especially when it's supposed to be like a detailed analytic, right? It's supposed to be, so they're paying attention.
And so, a lot of people have different opinions on it. I don't really have one, but, I guess how I would say it is I appreciate, what that did for me is just as far as getting my name out there, and I think, it became a name that got on scouts' radar, and obviously scouts do their homework, and they would have, hopefully my play would have just stood out regardless, and got me noticed. But I definitely think that was a part of it, and just kind of getting the whole, I guess what you said, the evolution of just my career and becoming, just a bigger name. Now I think that was this kind of the start of it. So, I guess it's just appreciation.
Yeah, really cool. Anything else with the Duke years, guys, you have, and we'll go into NIL stuff after that.
Well, I've just been thinking a lot about what you said.
Yeah.
The first 2 years compared to the last 2 years. what's been the biggest difference? I mean, obviously, other than winning more than you won in the first 2 years, has it been a culture change? What are all the things that you took notice of immediately when the Elko era began to go, okay, this is going to be different than what we've experienced?
Yeah. I think the biggest thing is just mentality.
Okay.
I mean, I think, I'm not, for anyone listening, I'm not speaking for Coach Elko. I haven't talked to him about this, but in my eyes, I think when a new head coach gets hired at a place that has lost a lot of games in the past couple of years, I feel like it's like, Deion Sanders mode, where it's like,
no, absolutely.
I need to flip the roster. We can't. The reality is we just can't win with these guys, and I don't know what Coach Elko's mindset was coming in, but I think he was surprised when he came to mat drills and winter workouts and stuff. I think he was surprised at the amount of care and the amount of passion and the amount of desire you could see to become a better football team. And so I think, before any coaching decisions were made, I think we had a lot of guys who are still on the team now who just, really wanted to, improve, what we were putting on the field and who took it very seriously and took a lot of pride in it. And so I think that was the first part, right, is just mentality. We had the right guys. We always have. I think we were just a little lost and we needed to be put on the right path. And I think that's what, Coach Elko and his staff did. And I think that's just the biggest difference is just you see the mentality. It's like guys became hungry to win. And like I said, like a hungry dog, an underdog is a hungry dog, and a hungry dog runs faster. And I think that just fueled us that whole offseason last year. And just, it pushed for extra work and pushed for better details and better consistency. And guys were taking care of themselves better and showing up and putting everything they have into this. And what you see is that drastic turnaround. That's the result of, hard work. Hard work works. That's what I say. And I think that's just that's really the biggest change.
Well, and one thing that usually happens with turnover at a college, with college football is you have a lot of transfers or people that want to leave the system.
Yeah.
Because they don't know the coach that's coming in. They're afraid it's going to affect maybe their playing time, their status with the team. Duke lost, what, 2, maybe 3 guys?
3.
3 guys out of the whole transition.
One of them's back on the team.
Yeah, Jeremiah.
Yeah, and well, never mind. I won't share about the other 2, but
right.
But anyway,
but
still good friends with the.
We missed the other 2.
Yeah, we
sure.
love it. I wore my Bobo T-shirt
I saw that.
last game. So
that's awesome. He's the man.
Yeah.
He's the man.
but to your point, it just seems that's the testament of this coaching staff.
Yeah.
That everyone was saying, you know what, I'm gonna maybe swallow my pride.
Yeah.
I could go somewhere else and probably play, very first snap with this other school, but everyone put their trust in this coaching program, which says a lot about Coach Elko and the guys.
Yeah. Those guys, they left before a hire was made.
Yep.
And like when you look at it, it's like, they made the right decision for them. Mm-hmm. The reality was the program was in a really dark spot, and they took opportunities, and they're all doing phenomenal. Like I said, one of them's back here. We just had a bunch of committed guys, and like you see, they all came back for 5th years too, and like just with Dwayne and Jacob, and with the evolution of how much Riley has matured and become a leader, and and just myself and guys like on defense like RJ, and just a bunch of just this core of people that were young when I got here and have just kind of seen everything from the highs and the lows and what it used to be like and what it is now, and just have that appreciation for success, and I don't think a lot of teams around the country have that, but like we've had the best of both worlds, or we've had both sides of the spectrum,
both sides of the coin.
Yeah. And so I think you appreciate it, and how hard it is to win week in and week out, how hard it is to win a college football game, and so just the way we do it now is just you appreciate it and you don't take it for granted, and it just keeps you going, it keeps you driven.
Yep.
A part of it, and I know that the national media is starting to figure this out, and they're highlighting this, But I think one of the most miraculous things about this turnaround is that Graham Barton was on the field in the 2-9 and 3-9. Dwayne Carter was this, like to Brian's point, this was not a massive overhaul. This was, let's take what we've got because there's potential here. It was just maybe misguided or maybe some of the fire. I mean, the same team that rolled over and played dead and got beat by 40 at Virginia 2 years ago.
Yep.
You know, it
48.
goes 9-4. Yeah, 48. Yeah, at Louisville. You know what I mean?
I remember.
Yeah. And like, but I think, and maybe speak to that, like it's the fact that you guys did stay here, and maybe that speaks to the academics. And I know that most players here at Duke are football first, but they also in the back of their head know they're getting a Duke degree, and maybe that helps. But at the end of the day, 90+% the same guys from the 3-9 team were 9-4 the next year, and it wasn't transfer portal heavy, and it wasn't getting rid of a bunch of guys.
Yeah. So we actually say, like, if you take, everything out and just look at our 2021 roster and our 2022 roster, not this year, but there's arguably more talent on our 2021 roster and our 2020 roster than there was our 2022 roster. We've got guys in the NFL, like there's a lot of great players on both those teams, and we just couldn't put it together. And so, like I said, like culture wins and hard work wins and dedication wins, and that's all 2022 was, and that's why that team was so much better than the teams before. It's like we just had a renewed mindset and a refreshed sense of culture and a refreshed sense of hope, and when you have a great locker room like we have, I think our staff is phenomenal. I think hires all the way from Nina King to down, was knocked out of the park, but it's a lot easier to do what we've done here when you have a great locker room, and that's what we have, and it's just a tight knit group, and I love these guys, and it's reciprocated, and it's just it makes me warm and fuzzy thinking about it. So it's awesome, and we've just got a great situation, and that's the reality.
Hey, there's still 9 more games, possibly 10 more games.
Yeah.
So keep the warm and fuzzies for those 10 games for sure.
No, 100%. I mean, but we could, knock on wood, but we could lose the rest of these games, and I would say the same thing. Take winning and losing out of it. Like, we have a great locker room, we have a great culture, we work really hard. That obviously wins have come from that, but either way, that is the truth, and so I would say that regardless.
So we hear that there's a chance that you may be a little bit of a jokester from someone. But who would you
Depends
say?
on who you're asking.
Who would you say is the biggest jokester, though? The person that tries to have the most fun on this year's team.
Biggest jokester.
Hard-hitting questions on the
I'm
Durham
not
Devils
gonna
Club
lie,
podcast.
I've stumped him twice.
You have.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Man, we got a lot of jokesters. I do. First of all, whoever said I'm a jokester is right. Like, I love to have fun. That's why I play football. I'm coming with a smile on my face.
Do you have
every
like a
day.
sarcastic humor, like
A little bit.
like The Office kind of?
Yeah,
like
a
humor?
little bit.
Okay,
A little bit of sarcasm, a little bit of everything.
On the field as well, towards the opponents?
No, I don't
Okay.
talk a lot. I don't talk a lot of crap. I keep that to a minimum. I'm usually pretty focused.
Okay.
But, man, we got a lot of guys. Let's see. Matt Craycraft, big jokester.
Okay.
Someone that has a bright future. Really cares about what he does. But man, is he funny? He's a really funny guy. So just being in that offensive line room with him, he's a funny dude. Let's see.
I mean, Stinson never has a smile,
Stinson.
a frown on his face. So
Stinson is a jokester. Here's an underrated one: Jordan Waters.
okay,
Jokester.
Oh, okay.
Jokester. You wouldn't expect
yeah, he's
that.
pretty quiet, dude.
But he, man, you're like, he'll say something under his breath or something. It's just funny. Like, I love Jordan. He makes me laugh.
Yeah, he was smiling a lot Saturday on the way out because he knew he had more touchdowns.
Yeah.
Well, Riley mentioned that maybe we had talked to Riley about maybe you and him being on the cover of Step Brothers. You being like that.
Yeah.
That movie
Uh-huh.
cover.
As soon as we mentioned that, he's like, "That is Graham. That is me and Graham together."
Yeah. That
Definitely.
that wouldn't capture it. That's just kind of how we are with each other.
Cool. So we're going to talk a little bit of NIL now.
All
Is that
right.
cool? We got to
Yeah.
kind of get down to wrapping it up.
Yeah.
Obviously, Durham Devils Club is kind of the Duke NIL arm,
Yep.
helping with all things of this space. So just kind of generically, what are some of the potential benefits afforded to athletes like yourself through the NIL space? And obviously, this is something new within the last 2 years. But
Yeah, I think it's great. It's just given like what we do on a the reality is what we do on a day in and day out basis is very difficult. And to be able to see people wanting to support us and wanting to give back and helping us kind of make our time here a little bit easier is really awesome. But I think NIL is a great opportunity, right? It helps you. I think here's a way you may not necessarily spin it. One is helps you, I think, learn, have a little more financial responsibility. That's a big one. I think it helps you take better care of your body. You're not as on tight of a budget. You don't have to eat as much fast food.
Right. Yeah.
And so I think
You
that's a
getting
big
in
one.
a steak more?
Yeah, a little more. No, not that. But I think it helps you take a little bit better care of your body. That's just the way I think I've had my experience with it. And I just think it just kind of helps you, in my opinion. Like I think it's just helped me grown as a human, just being able to manage that, use it where I deem necessary, be able to put some away just for future rainy day fund, etc. And just it I don't really see it as motivation, because I would be here playing football, doing my job, whether NIL was a thing or not. But it definitely is nice to know that people recognize what you're doing, respect what you're doing, and care enough to want to help you at this stage kind of in life.
We'll say, what are some of the misconceptions of the current state of the NIL?
Yeah, I think the way with NIL, I think it can be seen as this Wild West territory, and in some places in the country, and in some ways it is. There's a lot of just not a whole lot of regulation. It gets a little crazy at some places, but I think the way Duke's doing it and the Durham Devils Club is set up, I think it's just the right way. And you wish other schools would follow the similar model, and it wouldn't be as Wild West as it's kind of gotten. But the way Duke's doing it is really awesome. Just to be able to see, all guys kind of getting to be a part of it, and it's not this guy is getting this and this guy is getting. It's very balanced out. It's very even. I think the program tries to and the Durham Devils Club tries to help as many guys as they possibly can. I think it's great for recruiting purposes. Now that is something that can be a little unregulated in some places, but I just think the way that the Durham Devils Club is doing it is a pretty special and a great way to supplement a team.
Well, you might have just answered the third question that we had
Okay.
about NIL, so I think we're just going to keep
we
rolling
got
through.
So we
Okay.
do have some quick hitters. We
All
mentioned we're gonna, and remember at the very end of the quick hitters, we're gonna get your final two dinner party.
Yeah.
It's going to be rapid fire.
So
from
yeah,
all of
rapid
us.
fire. We're coming in from all directions. So we're gonna do quick hitters. We're just gonna kind of go around the circle. So first thing that pops in your head,
Just answer.
let us know. Graham
All
Barton,
right.
quick hitters. You ready?
All right,
Number
all right,
one.
let's go.
Favorite TV show.
Friends,
Favorite movie?
The Avengers,
Favorite song, artist.
Zach Bryan.
Ooh.
Favorite song right now?
Yeah.
Fear and Fridays.
Okay.
All right. Least favorite workout.
Dumbbell lunges with Coach Feely.
Toughest defensive end matchup,
On the team or just
just in general.
In general.
Let's say that you played against.
okay. Number 25 from UNC. Great player.
Favorite Duke win other than the Clemson win.
Probably Virginia last year. Just going down, getting that like 7-8 minute drive together, and sealing that one was so much fun.
Especially after they walk through pregame workouts.
Yes.
Yeah, a little disrespect.
Yep.
Favorite current NFL player?
David Bakhtiari. I watch a lot of his games, similar measurables to me. Really respect the way he's able to do what he does.
Favorite all-time NFL player?
Big time Drew Brees fan growing up.
All right.
Love Drew Brees. Big Saints fan. He used to have his poster up on my wall. Just 5'9".
You got similar
Underdog,
body style.
yeah. Underdog.
So probably a really good thing that Jamie, our Carolina Panther fan, is not here with us today.
Okay, yeah, that's good.
He'll listen to it. Okay, back to what we were talking about. You've already named
All right.
2 at your dinner party. Who are the other 2 that are going to be joining you?
All right, so I'm gonna go Lombardi, Vince Lombardi.
Okay.
I think that would be a really cool addition to my dinner party. And then I won't go, or you know what, Will Ferrell.
Oh,
Very
Will be my
nice.
last one.
man, that's a great dinner.
That's
It is
an
a good dinner
eclectic
party,
dinner
right?
guest
And,
list.
yeah, I could do, I'd have to do my research and
Right.
oh yeah, but
Yeah.
but I feel good with that 4.
So give us the rundown of the 4.
Okay. So we've got Ryan Holiday. I'd probably have him across the table from me. I think, just be able to, I'd want to refresh myself, read a few more books, and then, I just want to talk to him kind of like how, like sometimes I think like where do authors like get all this, do they just sit there and think all day and like, you just don't know. So just, learn and kind of understand how that whole thing works. And then I want McConaughey kind of like diagonal to me,
visual.
like
What's
'cause-
going
well, I
on,
want the
big
whole
man?
table to be in because like every guy at this table will want to listen to his stories and his experiences, and I just think that'd be fun to have like all right, that'd be awesome. Then Will Ferrell's hilarious, like that would just be fun for everybody. Yeah,
Lombardi and Will Ferrell together was a very interesting
yeah,
combination.
and then Lombardi, he'd probably be sitting next to me a little more quiet, but someone that I'd look over at some point and have some serious conversations with and talk some ball with, and just like kind of his legacy. And I say him for a reason because I listen to a lot of coaches, and I think coaches are really cool profession, and it's really difficult profession. It's pretty cutthroat, and just so like the best coaches, I try to like read a little bit on, look at and stuff, and but he's one I don't know a whole lot about, kind of before my time, and so I'd love to just kind of learn about him and get to ask him questions and his thought process on things.
Awesome. Well, this has been an hour. Look at that.
Yeah.
Right at
hour
an
plus.
hour. Man, we're good.
Now sitting down with Duke offensive lineman Graham Barton. If you are listening to this, that means you are a part of the Durham Devils Club, and we want to thank you for your support of the Duke student athletes, football specific, so far here with the Durham Devils Club. We want to thank you for being a member. We do want to encourage you, if you have friends that are Duke football fans and they want more of an inside look at Duke football, to get them over to DurhamDevilsClub.com. They can find out all the membership levels there. These interviews and conversations are available at the $25 level and higher. But if you go higher, there are meet and greets. There are other types of parties and things that are going to be taking place that you can be a part of. And so go to DurhamDevilsClub.com to find out more information. But I think we're good. Graham, thanks for stopping by today, man. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, and thank you guys. Appreciate all you do for the program.
And we look forward to watching you finish out your college career, these next 10 games. I'm going to say 10, but also we're looking forward to seeing how
Good
your
math.
how your NFL career progresses along as well. And we wish you nothing but the best.
I appreciate it.
But that'll do it for us. Another episode is in the books. We will have more interviews coming your way in the coming months, so be on the lookout if you are a subscriber. But for now, for Josh Cox, for Scott Medlin, for the absent Jamie Holt at the beach. Beachin'. I'm Brian Kennedy, and this has been another episode of the Durham Devils Club podcast.